Hey guys, my name is Ella Missouri King and I'm completely winging this video. Before we get started, I'd like to thank Hart Flying and EAA Chapter 43 for this opportunity. I think what you guys do is absolutely amazing and inspiring, and I hope to one day make an impact in the aviation community like you guys do. So thank you.
So this is where I work. I work at Aviation Technical Services. I am a document control coordinator, and that's one big fancy word for saying I deal with engineering documents pretty much all day. So I wish I could take you guys inside and give you guys a closer look to what I do on my day-to-day, but it's pretty much restricted access, and this is the okay I got, was to stand in front of the sign and kind of explain a little bit. Before I was a document control coordinator at ATS, I was a flight follower for Papillon Airways, and I worked inside of a tower that sat on top of the terminal. And my job revolved around keeping established radio contact with the helicopters, making sure that they were calling at specific points within a specific time frame. If they didn't or they missed their call, it was my job to figure out why, and if something went wrong, did we need to send a rescue crew out, and so forth. Another big part of the job was making sure that the helicopters were balanced. When people would check in, their weight would fluctuate, and with that meant that the helicopter might go out of CG. So it's basically one huge puzzle. We have multiple helicopters going out with a whole bunch of people, and the whole time we're moving people around, we're switching aircraft out, we're switching pilots out. You know, if they're forward heavy, throwing ballast in the aft, moving meals and coolers, whatever we could do to make sure that helicopter stayed within CG. Sometimes it meant they could only take one-way fuel instead of round trip. And it was basically an amazing job, and it was a crazy opportunity. It was challenging and rewarding on so many different levels, and I met so many amazing people. So I wanted to bring you to one of my favorite spots, and this is Mukilteo Beach. It's gorgeous, it's beautiful, and it really just helps someone think. I think one of the things that makes this place so special to me is that just up the hill, a couple miles away, is the airport, and that's where I take my lessons. I love it here. This is the Pacific Northwest. This resonates completely with me, and this is where I'm from. This is my place, my roots. I thought this would be the perfect place to talk about my love for aviation. I am head over heels for this industry, and I cannot be more thrilled to be working in this industry, doing what I love. When I took my first flight, I knew right then and there that this was the field for me. I knew that I wanted to fly, that I would continue flying, and that I wouldn't let anything get in my way. And I will never forget my first solo. I was terrified. I didn't think I had it in me. And the moment my instructor hopped out of the airplane, I remember something just clicked, and all of a sudden I was burning through my checklist. I was taxiing the aircraft up to the runway, and before I knew it, I was in the sky, and I was smiling from ear to ear. I was glowing. I cannot explain what that felt like. There is no words. So now, come with me and let's go to my dad's house. So we're here at my dad's house, Frontier Airpark, and my dad moved here about a year ago. As you can see, there is this wonderful hangar behind me. Let's go on and take a peek inside. So as you can see, there's nothing in here yet. But there's potential. Eventually, we hope to purchase an aircraft or do joint ownership with some others in the community, because my goal is to fly and to teach. And what better way to be able to do that than if you have ownership or partial ownership of your own aircraft?
I feel like I should be considered for this scholarship because I want to give back. I don't want to just go to my training and make a career out of this. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but my overall intention and goal is to give back to the community to try and get young women of all different cultural backgrounds into flying. So I think what sets me apart from other candidates is I don't like to give up. I am really determined, and when I set my mind on something, I go for it, which is why I'm here. I am determined to fly and get my ratings that I need to get my CFI so that I can give back. I don't see failure as an option, and I'm going to continue working towards this pretty much for the rest of my life. The biggest goal I have accomplished so far was simply beginning my flight training. I come from a background where women really don't fly that much, so as a child growing up, I never thought that I could fly. And once I got into high school and I realized that yes, women could fly, I became determined to fly. I approached my father, we discussed it, and eventually I got to go and fly. And simply getting to the point of my solo was a huge accomplishment for me because I realized there I was in that aircraft by myself, flying alone with no one helping me, and I was there, I did it. I plan on completing my training by the end of summer 2019. So I plan to supplement my training by continuing to put money aside. My father and I have kind of struck a bargain that he will match whatever I save up. So hopefully the two of us combining it together will eventually get me to where I need to be.
Hi guys, my name's Connor. I'm a first officer with the regional airline here on the West Coast. I fly the Embraer 175. As you can see, we're all geeks in this family. The first thing that comes to my mind when I think about my wife is the word selfless. She is incredibly selfless. The very first thing she thought of when she was a finalist, when she found out she was a finalist for this scholarship, was that she did not want to take it away from somebody else who she thought deserved it more than her. Now, we all told her to stop that because she is more than deserving of this scholarship. And one of the other things that she plans on doing in her career is that she wants to be a flight instructor her whole career. She wants to teach and mentor the next generation of aviators and really make an impact with women in aviation and try and get more women to step into this field. And she can really make an impact in this field going forward.
As I've gone through my training, I realized that I've done it alone. I haven't had a mentor. I haven't had another female to go to about my training. I've had to figure this all out myself. And I think that's a shame. There's this perception in aviation that it's too hard for women to do this, and I completely disagree with that. And it's just as hard for men as it is for women. And I really want to be a mentor, to be that face to young girls, someone that they can look up to and realize that they can do this too. That flying and aviation, it's not just for guys, it's for women as well. In the end, I want to tap into the younger generation of all ethnic, cultural backgrounds. I want them to break down their barriers and realize they can do this too. Aviation is for everybody. So keep the blue side up.